now Penguin Zero, you're a bitch. You're a little bitch. Continuing to talk this shit and play video games and inspire nobody, make the same hippies that everybody else makes, but you folded live.
Sneako, Andrew Callahan, Danny Mullen, come fight me, you fucking pussy!
Sneako's brand is dead.
It's very hard now to be a man in the world and not have unrealistic expectations.
And I apologize to Moist Critical for showing a picture on stream of you and your girlfriend. That was not very Christ-like.
And he is now the laughingstock of the internet. But to figure out why, we have to figure out what happened. Sneako is a streamer and content creator who gained popularity in recent years for his content around self-improvement, fitness, and lifestyle advice. However, while Sneako has managed to amass a significant following, many critics have argued that he's little more than a failed copy of Andrew Tate, a well-known public figure who has also made a name for himself in the self-improvement space and holding very controversial opinions. In this video, we will examine the ways in which Sneako has failed his brand by being a copy of Andrew Tate. At first glance, it is easy to see why many people have drawn comparisons between Sneako and Andrew Tate. Both men are young, athletic, and charismatic with a penchant for sharing their personal journeys of self-improvement with their followers. Both men also promote similar messages of self-discipline, mental toughness, and the importance of taking responsibility for one's life. Sneako's content frequently features workout videos, daily routines, and advice on topics such as time management and goal setting, all which are staple of Andrew Tate's repertoire. However, while Sneako may share many surface-level similarities with Andrew Tate, the differences between the two become apparent upon closer inspection. For one, Andrew Tate has a much more well-defined brand and a personality than Sneako. Tate is known for his no-nonsense attitude and his unapologetic views on controversial topics such as masculinity, relationships, and gender. Sneako, on the other hand, is much more subdued and less confrontational because of the fact that Sneako has always used the excuse of comedy for the reason of him not being too confrontational. While his comedy is certainly up for debate, you can definitely say that he is not as impactful as Andrew Tate because Andrew Tate is an original personality and he came first with his wealth and his flexing. Meanwhile, Sneako, you can easily argue that he is only following in Andrew Tate's footsteps for the clout and money. Another major difference between Sneako and Andrew Tate is their level of success outside of the streaming world. Andrew Tate is a former professional kickboxer and world champion who's also made a name for himself in the business world with many ventures ranging from real estate to questionably cryptocurrency. In contrast, Sneako's background is much less illustrious, as Sneako used to be a partner of Mr. Beast and used to be a part of his editing team, but because of a disagreement he had with him, Sneako was no longer a part of Mr. Beast's brand. In addition to that, Sneako doesn't really delve into his past, except for the fact that he shared that he was a self-admitted cuck. Now, for those of you that don't know, being a cuck means that you watch your partner have relations of the sexual kind with another person and get off on it, which is very questionable considering that Sneako wants to be a part of this super masculine brand that Andrew Tate has, but he has something that is completely the opposite of the red pill or Andrew Tate's message, because Andrew Tate's message is all about having sexual relations with as many girls as possible. Meanwhile, Sneako is over here in the corner of a hotel room watching his girl have sex with another man, apparently, which is questionable. However, what made this all more egregious is that Sneako is not authentic. One of the most significant differences between Sneako and Andrew Tate is the level of authenticity each man brings to his content. Andrew Tate has built a reputation for being brutally honest, even when it may not be popular or politically correct. He has been open about his experiences with depression, addiction, and mental health struggles, and never shying away from sharing his personal opinions no matter how controversial they are. Meanwhile, Sneako, on the other hand, is very inauthentic. It is clear that this is not who Sneako wants to be. He's only doing this because it makes him a lot of money. In addition to that, he used to be a more authentic type of person when he was on YouTube before he got banned. Oh yeah, if you're wondering on why he got banned, it's basically because he said so many opinions about race and Cuties, which is essentially about sexualizing children, which is a weird hill to die on, an opinion that he continues to defend to this day, is certainly not a wise move. And then we get into his recent controversy where he had a feud with the YouTuber Moist Critical, aka Charlie. Charlie's beef with Sneako, or vice versa, is one of the many primary reasons why Sneako has become a joke on the internet. Sneako has been criticized for being disingenuous in his content, frequently repeating generic advice and platitudes without offering any original insights or personal stories. Sneako's content often comes across as shallow and uninspired, leading many viewers to question his credibility as a self-improvement guru and someone that is supposed to be the successor of Andrew Tate. This lack of authenticity has caused many people to lose faith in Sneako's brand and has made him a target for ridicule and criticism. Another thing that had significant factors and contributed to Sneako's downfall is the fact that he says some of the worst stuff possible. He's a public friend of someone that believes that race mixing is very terrible, and this goes completely opposite of Sneako's existence, so it makes me wonder why Sneako's even friends with this person in the first place. In addition, his girl is a complete different race altogether, so I don't know why he supports this. Another thing, Sneako is completely idiotic. He went after one of the biggest YouTubers and started criticizing Moist Critical, the YouTuber in question's girlfriend, and calling her ugly, which is something you don't do. You don't talk about people's relationships when you have such a glaring skeleton in your closet, which is something that Penguin Zero or Moist Critical or Charlie took advantage of ruthlessly, exposing to millions of people that Sneako was nothing more than a pathetic little cuck. And look, here's the thing. Most people wouldn't actually care if you were actually a cuck. Some people might give you a weird look because they would somehow know about your sex life, and most people don't want to even know about that in the first place. But you're out here spitting that Charlie should be in a polygamous relationship and the girl he's with is ugly, and you're criticizing all the other people that are monogamous, when at the same time, this monogamous relationship is actually stable. Meanwhile, your polyamory relationship has led you to being cucked, and watch your girl actually get railed right in front of you, and you even talk about how it was a traumatic experience for you. You have said nothing positive about that lifestyle, which makes people realize you don't actually like this. You just did it one time and you got really traumatized, which let Charlie make fun of him a lot. And a lot of people continue to say that, and they will continue to say that to him for years to come, just so they can get under his skin because they know it will. In addition to this, Sneako is a coward. He is unwilling to fight Brandon Buckingham, someone that is of similar size and stature that has always wanted to box Sneako and has been public about calling him out.
Good at boxing. I don't like boxing, and to be fair, I don't really ever want to box again. But there's genuine bad blood here, and I'm pretty tired of this wannabe tough guy parading around the internet like he's some kind of badass.
But Sneako at the same time turns around and wants to fight women and wants to fight Charlie, who he views as physically inferior to him. But whenever there's an opponent that matches his stature and size, Sneako would rather avoid them like the plague and say that he loves to joke on the internet rather than fight people. But when it comes to people he views as physically inferior, he wants to fight them and wave his gun around like a lunatic. In conclusion, Sneako's downfall is a cautionary tale for content creators and influencers who rely on authenticity, transparency, and credibility to build their brands.